Hey fellow otakus, we are here today to discuss chapter 151 of JJK, and what a chapter we got this week. With all the build up we have had over the series about the Zen'in clan, and seeing what was effectively their destruction last chapter, this week's chapter was always going to be amazing considering the confrontation of Maki and Naoya we got at the end of last week. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, and don't forget to like the video, hit the subscribe button, and click that notification bell. Okay, so onto the chapter. Chapter 151 begins with us seeing a flashback to a young Naoya who is running happily through the Zen'in clan. Naoya is thinking how he is a genius, how everyone has told him that he will succeed his father as the next head of the Zen'in clan, but how there was also a failure in the Zen'in clan, a man that doesn't even have an ounce of cursed energy. He wondered how disheartened a man he would be. He wondered what sort of miserable face he would have. All of this is shown with Naoya smiling whilst he runs, perhaps hinting to us that he was twisted from a young age. But then we get to the next page. The next page is Naoya looking up at Toji and seeing the man as the absolute opposite to everything he had earlier thought. Just seeing the strength in Toji's eye and how it is portrayed to us in such an intense way shows that he knows that Toji is nothing like what he had expected him to be. This page of Toji is seriously epic, by the way. The way in which he is shown towering over the young Naoya is drawn so perfectly. It matches what we know Toji really is, and the focus onto his eye is so intense. We then move back to the fight. We see Naoya attacking using multiple different striking techniques, with Maki parrying these while she appears to be counting the blows. Naoya then grabs Maki, before we see him freeze her using projection sorcery and then kick her through the frozen projection. Maki is then sent flying across the remains of the grounds of the Zen'in clan, but before she can land, Naoya uses his immense speed to arrive at her landing point before he then kicks her again, sending her crashing into a cliff face. All this time, Naoya has been thinking, "You are," and as he is landing here is where we get the ending of his thought. Naoya is thinking, "You are not Toji-kun," as Maki is shown still counting even as she's been sent into the cliff face. We then get the continuation of Naoya's thoughts to finish the page. Naoya says, "The sin of a small fry is not understanding what true strength is. Maybe that's why nobody could understand Toji-kun, except perhaps Satoru-kun." This interaction is a great insight into the way that Naoya views strength. For those that, as he puts it, have true strength, only others with true strength can understand them. The way in which Naoya views strength is clearly derived from the Zen'in clan, but there is a distinction for what Naoya sees as truly strong, and something that he doesn't believe that the Zen'in believe in. We next see Maki groaning as she raises her head before Naoya continues his attack, sending her flying with a kick once more and continuing to shout in his head, "You're not him." Naoya grabs Maki mid-air once more and then throws her through a boulder. We again see Naoya thinking about Toji and Gojo while saying, "The one who will finish standing, the strongest." He then strikes once more while finishing, "Is me." Maki lands on her feet after the repeated onslaught but then stumbles. She contemplates how this isn't going well. We are then given a narration with more details for the projection curse technique. The technique does not allow you to move in a way that excessively breaks the laws of physics or trajectory. The speed is also limited by the body's acceleration when activating the technique. However, when the technique is repeatedly stacked upon itself, the speed can be increased. We then see Naoya thinking, "I won't stop now, I won't screw up like last time," before we get this amazing split page spread of Naoya at the top facing left with Maki at the bottom facing right, and both surrounded by the darkness, both ignoring everything but the techniques that they are using. Naoya says, "Power is mass and speed, I shall wipe you out using maximum speed." Here we see Naoya moving so fast that only impact points can be seen from where he accelerates. We then see Maki stabilise her footing before she claps her hands and then widens them out as she prepares to use a technique from the Shiranui style. Here we get some more narration, this time in reference to Maki. It says Mai exchanged her life in order to free her from cursed energy and gift her a body as strong as steel. However, Maki has lost blood during her fight with Ogi, followed by a battle with the Hay Squad. Maki concluded that a drawn out fight with Naoya, who has already reached subsonic speed, is unfavourable for her. We then briefly switch back to Naoya's perspective. He reads Maki's intentions, thinking, "So a head-on fight you say?" Before we get a smirking Maki say, "Come in for a hug," to Naoya as she then tucks in her arms. This is a great line. It fits Maki's personality to the letter, and it's a great chance for us to see that she is still the same Maki, even after she has evolved and is now facing Naoya in a one-on-one. I really like this touch from Gege here, to show us that Maki is still the character we know as an important detail. but in the heart of the moment it is common for a lot of mangakas to forget to include such a detail. I am glad Gege has not made that mistake. But back to the fight. Naoya, at subsonic speed, slaps Maki's arm as he blitzes her. We then get some more narration regarding his technique. While the technique is activated, anything touched by Naoya's palm must also abide by the 1/24th FPS rule when moving, otherwise the target will freeze for 1 second. Naoya is then shown to be circling back around after touching Maki. Maki at this time is shown to not be moving as the narration continues, if they fail, 1 second. We switch back to Naoya, who is shown charging back at Maki whilst the narration finishes. Naoya is still moving at top speed. Naoya raises his head and stares at Maki, and we are shown his thoughts for the final time this chapter. He thinks, even if it means sacrificing a rib, you plan on taking my attack head on, don't you? I won't take such a pathetically obvious bait. As expected, you're a fake. Maki is still not moving, but then before Naoya can attack, he suddenly sees Maki's fist about to hit him. Maki says, "It's 24 times, isn't it? Naobito and you are not just fast, I could feel something was off. Your movements are split into 24 every second. With this body, I can finally see them clearly." As the fist gets closer, Naoya is enraged and begins to retort, "You are a fake!" But before he can finish his words, Maki's fist lands and sends Naoya into the ground with massive force. What we see next is Naoya laying on the ground, blood spewing from his mouth, with a fist imprint buried into his face, before Maki responds in the most badass of ways. "Sorry, can you repeat that?" And we see the tagline, unmistakably, a one-punch victory. What a chapter. After 150, I was sure Gege would continue this intensity with this chapter, and I am so glad that I was right. This chapter has had me in anticipation all week, and it did not fail to deliver. Naoya was relentless in his attack, but Maki has been shown to truly be on a different level now, although this does perhaps put Naoya at risk of being the new Jogo in terms of his L's taken, shall we say. But moving on from that, JJK has been going strong consistently now, and this arc has been top tier for it. Although this arc may be coming to a close soon, we still have the culling game as a whole to experience, and what we can expect from Maki there is one of the most exciting prospects. JJK is truly delivering on its promise right now. It really is a top shonen right now. And there we have my thoughts on JJK 151. As I said before, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, and don't forget to like the video, hit the subscribe button, and click the notification bell. Peace to all.